Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Contently Living. I'm Carlessa and I'm so glad that you have tuned in today. And we are going to be beginning our building series of our addition that we are doing. We are doing an addition to our house that will be a closet, a family room, and a laundry room. And right now I'm just kind of showing you around, and I am walking through the closet. And now I'm walking out, and this is going to be the family room where the TV and the couch and everything will be, where we'll be able to kind of hang out, maybe some chairs in there, I'm not sure. And this right here is going to be the laundry room. It's going to be a big, beautiful laundry room. I am so excited. I can't wait for everything to be completed. But as you can see, there is a lot of work for us to do. So make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss any part of this journey on Contently Living. To begin, I'm just showing you guys the jigsaw that we're using to cut the drywall with. It's Bauer, and it makes cutting the drywall very, very easy, just following the laser, and you get a nice clean cut every time. So right now, Alex is using the jigsaw to make the cut in the drywall. It has to be diagonal because there is an incline on the ceiling. And in this video, we'll be working on closing in the walls of the closet and the wall that you see to our left. And here we like to take this blue ruler called the T, and I just draw a line down where I know the studs are behind the wall, so that all we have to do is follow the line going down to put our screws into the drywall. You don't have to worry about, keep going through the wall over and over again and making unnecessary holes. It really makes it a lot faster and a lot easier. So now we have the outside of the closet wall done. We can head inside of the closet to finish off this upper wall as well. And this is going to be a nice size storage closet where we can put winter clothes and things that we don't use very often. Just a nice addition to have a little bit more space and have things organized. So again, for the drywall, we will be using the saw to cut it because it does make cutting the drywall a lot easier, like I said before. But one of the downsides to the saw is that it does put a lot of dust and debris into the air, and it can irritate your eyes and your nose. So as you see here, my husband just kind of covers up his nose with his shirt, or sometimes we even put on like goggles so that it doesn't, like the safety goggles, so that it doesn't bother our eyes. But other than that, I really love using the saw for this. Now here we're just kind of cutting a little bit around the light switch that's there. It's just literally like a hair above where the drywall rests. So we just want to cut out a little bit so that the drywall will sit there a little bit better. So this is our very first time doing drywall work, And we were very fortunate to have a good friend of ours who knows how to do it, and she came and she showed us how to do it, and she kind of walked us through each step, and she calls me and asks for pictures, like to see how the progress is going, and comes to see it. And we are very, very grateful to her because it has saved us a lot of money. And this by no means is a tutorial on how to do drywall. It's just to kind of encourage our viewers out there to, get your hands dirty and to do these projects yourself, because it may not be as difficult as you think they are. This is the next day. I am tackling this back wall here by myself. My husband is at work, and as you can see, we finished the drywall in the closet. So now I'm just starting on this back wall here, and it's a lot easier for me to do myself because I'm not holding anything up very high. And when he gets home, then he'll help me finish it off. But I'm just kind of cleaning up around the area and getting things set up so that I can begin. So here I'm just getting the drywall lined up so that I can go ahead and screw it to a 2x4, but I realize there is no 2x4 here to screw it to. So I need to add a piece of 2x4 to attach the drywall to. Not a big deal at all. Just need to screw another piece of 2x4 there so I can have something to attach the drywall to. So here for me, it's easier just to start the screws on this extra piece of wood before I put it up on the wall. It just makes it a lot easier. I don't have to try and hold the screws in and hold the piece of wood in. I just go ahead and start it off there. But now that I have that piece there, I can move forward with the drywall. Also, my drywall is not hitting right in the middle of my 2x4, so I can have space to put another piece of drywall. So I'm going to have to cut that and get it to the right size. So I take my T to make sure I make that perfect line going down so that I get a nice even cut. So while I love the electric saw to cut the drywall with, I cannot do it by myself because the drywall is way too heavy for me to pick up and put on the sawhorses. So I have to do the old-fashioned box cutter and drywall saw. But that's fine too. I mean, it does the job. So here I'm just scoring the back. I flipped it over and taking off that little excess piece, and I'm gonna put it in its place. Now I can start the easy process of just screwing the drywall to the 2x4s, and obviously this is the spot where I had to add the piece, so I just screw it to that little piece that I had to add in, and I just take my T, go down. That way I just follow that line going down, just putting all my screws in and not making any extra unnecessary holes in the walls. So here I can honestly say that I think that I am beginning to enjoy the drywall process. Now, putting the drywall up on the ceilings was a lot more complicated and more difficult, but doing the sheets that are down on the bottom, I've actually enjoyed doing them, and I've done most of the bottom sheets of drywall on my own, just when Alex has been at work and, the kids are doing school and I'm home. So that's actually something that has kind of surprised me during this whole project, is that I actually am enjoying doing it. So here I'm starting on this next piece of drywall, and as you can see behind me, it has an outlet, and I was shown a quick trick on how to do outlets and light switches without having to do a bunch of measuring and getting the exact spot, and that has made it a lot easier, and I'm going to show you in just a second. At this point, this knife was starting to feel like I was cutting with a butter knife. I mean, I was like putting all of my weight down to try and get it to go through to the other side, and it just was not very easy to do. But as you can see, I got it done, but I definitely need to buy another blade. So here I'm just sweeping out all of the debris so that it's not in the way when I push the drywall all the way up to where the studs are. So this is the trick that I was telling you about before, where you put some, this is just lipstick that you put on the outlet, and then you push it up against the drywall and it will show you the mark. Now, it did not make a very dark mark, so I got another outlet and outlined it and stamped it on there really well. And now I just outline the box so that I know exactly where to cut, and I don't have to measure anything, and it is the perfect cut every single time. We've been doing this the whole time we've been doing the building, and it has worked out really, really well. I really like this method. So here I'm just continuing to cut through the other side and just poke the hole out and pushing it up against the wall, making sure that there's no debris that will hinder it from going all the way up to the studs. And see, it's perfect. I really, really like this because I always get nervous with measuring and it being off, but this works really well every time. It has always been important for me to make my home as appealing and as comfortable as possible, and this space is just going to make it so much sweeter to be home. And especially since we're doing this with our own two hands, you really get to enjoy it even more when you have put your time and effort into it. Now I'm just cutting a little bit of the excess just to make sure that the outlet box is flush with the drywall, and it just fits really nicely. It's really easy to do, and then I'll just finish screwing this drywall to the rest of the studs. So later that evening, Alex is back home to help me finish up this drywall, the sheets that I could obviously not pick up by myself. And hopefully we'll be done with this very soon, and then we can move on to the laundry room next. This room is finally starting to come together, and it just makes us breathe a sigh of relief that we will almost be ready to enjoy all of the hard work that we have put into it. Not quite, but it is definitely getting there. So I am going ahead and measuring this last sheet for the day. I am so happy because it really wears on your back and your knees. You know, the drywall is pretty heavy, but it is really, really nice to look around and see the work that you have done, to see a little bit of progress being made. So we are going to go ahead and cut this last sheet and get it up. All right, guys, this wraps it up for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I would love it if you would subscribe so that you can continue to get the rest of our videos. It's going to be a good series. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and comment as well. See you in the next one.